The development of Oxford Street happened rather quickly, including not just bars and nightclubs, but restaurants, and the whole business scene changed dramatically. Watching the development of things like restaurants turning into the midnight shift and stuff like that was fascinating, but at the same time we had the unfortunate problems with law reform and police harassment and things like that. We had meetings down in Belmore Park for marches for civil rights, especially the establishment of the Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby. I had joined the Navy prior to the end of the Vietnam War, and I had left the base and gone down to Bondi Beach to watch the full moon come up out of the water. And I ran into Bobby, and he had his camera, and we just started talking. And one thing led to another. We went for a walk all the way up to Bellevue Hill where the water tower was, so he'd get a full reflection of the moon on the water. And then we ended up back at his place. But in those days I had to be very careful, and many of us had to be very careful of the undercover naval police because we were considered a security risk. Bobby and I never had a full-on relationship. We only got together several times over a period of 6 months or so before I was transferred back to sea on a ship, and eventually correspondence became minimal and we lost contact. I had been a foreman on 3 construction sites in charge of about 12 labourers, moving bricks and barrows of cement, and I had never been quite as fit as I was then. But that is how I ended up with the job at the Oxford. Jeff saw me there one afternoon with just a leather vest on and my jeans, and just said, "I like the look of you, would you come and work in the bar?" I had a partner at the time called Gary, who went on a tour of different cities in America, and Gary came back and advised me at the time that our relationship was finished because he was positive, and at that stage I wasn't. But he was petrified of spreading it. Through the work at the Oxford, Peter, the licensee, allowed or gave the venue upstairs, which was then a restaurant, for a group of us to get together and discuss establishing a memorial fund organisation, something to alleviate HIV poverty in the community. And that's how the basis of Bobby Goldsmith Foundation was established. Having watched the development of it, was not a client initially, primarily because at the time I was diagnosed, I was working at the ABC. I was told that I was one of 300 at the ABC who were all going to be made redundant. And I had to do a Commonwealth Medical Officer's assessment, and I had an appointment, but in the interim BGF came to my assistance and helped me with direct funding paid not to me, to the estate agent. So that was a blessing in itself, and I realised then just how important Bobby's memory had become, because here he was, even many years after the fact, still helping people. And the amount of assistance that they give is phenomenal, both financially and emotionally. And Bobby would be very happy, very proud to be associated with it. I know that for a fact. BGF is most definitely the only institution, charitable institution I know, who give direct financial and emotional support to people in the situation dealing with HIV and the poverty associated with it. So all I can say is, please keep generously donating. You're helping many, many people.